best center in the league. Best center in the league. What are you going to say? What are you going to say now? We beat the Raptors. We beat the Nuggets. We beat the Celtics in Boston for the only time this season a team has beat Boston. And we did this all without Al Horford. But, if it was the other way around, there would have been, excuses on why the Sixers beat the Celtics. But since we had nobody, there won't be any excuses. But we won. So, because for a fact, if Jason Tatum didn't play, you only beat us because you didn't have Jason Tatum. Well, we beat you and we didn't even have Al Horford. Joel Embiid, abusive. He needs to get it. He abused the Celtics. 38 points, 6 assists, 13 rebounds. Unguardable. His best performance of the season, easily. And of course, it's a TNT game in Boston. And, on Tuesday night, they were talking about Embiid not having, fun, not being as dominant as he can be. They said after the game that they know he can be the best player in the league. They know he could be the best center in the league. And he dominated. He was dominant yesterday. Dominant. Sixers win 115-109. Improved to 19-7 on the season. The Celtics were a perfect 10-0 at home this season. Sixers go into Beantown, beat them. 115-109. Thanks to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was the main reason why we won this game. He was dunking on everybody. He was shooting threes. He made a clutch three. Made 5 clutch free throws in the end of the game. Joel Embiid had himself a game. And it's about time. This is the Joel Embiid that I thought that we need for the rest of the season. And Shaq and Charles Barkley were saying it, all week. That Joel Embiid needs to be dominant in order for this team to be great. He's a good player, but they need him to be great. And yesterday he was great. He listened, he learned, and we won the game. We won the game. We beat Boston in Boston without one of our starters. Ben Simmons only shot 6 shots, and we still beat them 115-109. What else is there to say about this team? What else is there to say? We're beating good teams in their own arenas. We're killing teams. We're killing good teams in our arena. But nobody's giving us credit. Nobody's giving us the credit we deserve. Nobody. We are 19-7. We are 12-14 in our last 14 games, but nobody's talking about us. And I kind of like that. Keep underrating us. Keep underrating this team. Because we're just getting started. This team hasn't even fully gelled yet, and we almost have 20 wins. We beat Boston in Boston. Nobody has done that all season. They're our rivals. They've owned us for the past 5 years. But last season, when Jimmy Butler hit that game-winning bucket, the tides turned. The rivalry shifted. We're 2-0 against them this season. 2-0. When's the last time the Sixers can say, oh, we're up 2-0 in the season series against the Celtics? When's the last time? I don't even know. But Joel Embiid stepped up big. He was the main, this is the Joel Embiid that I thought was going to be here all season. He obviously stated that he wasn't having, much fun, and because of the suspension earlier in the season with Karl Anthony Towns. But look, he dominated. He dominated yesterday. Nobody could stop him. He got this one offensive rebound, put it on the floor, and dunked over 3 people. He was dominant. He was absolutely dominant. And this is the best center in the NBA. Right there, last night was the best center in the NBA. 38, 6, and 13. And a huge block on Daniel Theis at the end of the game. Huge block. He was going up for like a layup or a dunk, and the game was pretty much over. But Joel Embiid swatted it. He didn't want to give him any more points. He sent it. He sent it. And Joel Embiid was the reason why the Sixers won the game. He was clutch. He was dominant throughout the whole game. And he was doing things that we know Joel Embiid can do. And I've been waiting for that all season long. I've been waiting for a performance like this all season long. And it finally happened against Boston, in Boston of all teams and cities to do it in. I'll take that every single time. Do it against Boston. Do it against Milwaukee. Do it against both LA teams. Do it against Toronto. Do it against Denver. Do it against the teams that people doubt us with. Toronto, Boston, Milwaukee, LA, Denver. The list goes on. Houston. Towns, Jokic, Davis. Take it to them. Cantor. Morris. Take it to them. Every game. Take it to them. Because Joel is the best center in the NBA. I've been saying it since last season. 2 years ago, I've been saying it. He is the best center in the league. Because Anthony Davis is not a center. He's a power forward. JaVale McGee runs the 5 in LA. Jokic, he's not better. We just saw it. He got whooped in Philly. Embiid almost doubled his stats. But Joel Embiid will never get the respect. And nobody knows why. Because they don't like him. Because he starts fights. Because he does this. Well, let me tell you something. He doesn't start the fights. He gets in their head. Why do you think every time Detroit plays against the Sixers, what happens with Andre Drummond? Every game. Fouls out. Foul trouble. Real estate. He owns real estate in Andre Drummond's head. And I don't think Andre Drummond has ever had a good game against Joel Embiid. Ever. Not that I can remember. Now this is just a little rant with like Embiid and how dominant he can be. Because Charles and Shaq were right. He needs to be better. He needs to be better in order for this team to succeed at the highest level that they can. They're right. And he was dominant yesterday, and we walked out of Boston with a W. Something the Sixers have struggled to do since Joel has been in the NBA. And it came at no better time. You close out 3 tough games in a row. Toronto, Denver, Boston, you sweep them. You won. You win all 3. And that's huge for this team. Huge. Huge. And I can't wait until December 25th, 2:30, Christmas Day, in the Wells Fargo Center. Joel Embiid and the Sixers going up against Giannis and the Bucks. I can't wait. I will be in attendance. I cannot wait. Now back to the game, because I got my little Joel Embiid rant out of here. You know, he was dominant. 38, 6, and 13. Tobias Harris was also playing at a great level of play, like he's been doing. 23 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. Tobias Harris he's been unbelievable these past couple weeks. Ever since he got over that little stretch of bad games, he's been great. Mike Scott filling in for Al Horford, who didn't play with knee soreness. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the 3-point line. He was huge. His shooting was huge. Richardson had a much better game this time around than he did against Denver. 14 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He knocked down a clutch little jump shot towards the end of the game. Simmons only shot 6 shots, 7.6 assists and 8 rebounds he finished with. It does seem like Ben kind of shies away from the big-time games like Denver. He only had 7. This game he only had 7. But his defense just makes up for it. And nobody talks about the defensive side of it. But Tatum shot 6 of 21, 6 of 20, 5 of 20. Something terrible like that. He shot awful all night. And Ben Simmons was guarding him. That's not a coincidence. It's not. It's really not a coincidence at all. Furkan led the bench in scoring, 7 points. He was 3 of 4 from the field. Thibault, 6 points, 2 blocks, 1 steal. He played 26 minutes. He had a solid game. I mean, it was obviously more a Joel Embiid type performance. So they were looking for him with Daniel Tice on him and Enes Kanter, who I hate Kanter. My God, he's such a pest. He's such a pest. He's a dirty player too. I can't stand Kanter. He flops. He brings them down with them. He tried to start a fight on the first game of the season this year. He's a clown. I can't stand Enes Kanter. Kyle O'Quinn, 3 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. He was obviously, playing the backup center role since Al Horford was out. And James Ennis shot 1 of 4, 2 points. Howell Neto also got some run. And I do like Trey Burke better than Neto. But I think Brett is kind of just experimenting right now. We're only, 26 games into the season of an 82-game season. I'm sure Burke will get some run eventually. But the Sixers are playing at a level right now that is just unreal. They're playing at such a high level. People don't understand how hard it is to win in Boston. Especially when they're 10-0 this season. In Boston, the Celtics are 10-0. Sixers come in without Al, and they win. They win in the clutch. They win tonight. They won last night's game, 115-109. Boston was leading almost the entire game up until the fourth. You can't tell me that in years past, games where the Sixers aren't in control the whole time, they win. You can't tell me that. It wasn't a thing back then. It wasn't a thing back a couple years ago. They clutched it out. Joel Embiid hit a 3 in the clutch. He had 5 free throws. He was making layups. He was blocking shots. Games like this, the Sixers continue to lose for years. And now the culture of Sixers basketball is changing. It's changing. They beat Boston in Boston after being down almost the entire game up until the fourth quarter. They were missing Al Horford. Josh Richardson's only on his second game back. Ben Simmons only shot 6 times. Tobias was struggling in the first half. But they found a way to gut it out and win the game. And that's what's so different about this team than past. And it started last season when Jimmy was on the team. On Christmas Day, we were down almost the whole game. We ended up taking it in overtime, and we lost. That's what's different about this team. Close games now favor us. They favor us. They favor the Sixers. It's great to see. I love seeing it. Close games, and now the Sixers are learning how to close them out and win these games. You can't ask for anything better. Because what happens in the playoffs? They're close games. Almost every game is close. Especially on the road, which we did last night in Boston. It was a close game. They found a way to win the game. And it's beautiful to see. I love seeing Boston versus Sixers, and the Sixers come on top in a classic game. In a classic of a game. Because this game, this is what Sixers Celtics is. They're always close. And that's why Boston has owned us for the past few years. With Al Horford on the team. With Marcus Morris on the team. You know, it's just so much better that you can find that I can trust this team in winning close games. It's so much better. And I love seeing it. And the Sixers also play tonight. They play against New Orleans. J.J. Redick in his return game in Philly. And he actually did state that he's happy for the Sixers that they're winning. Because they're a fun team to watch. We should go out tonight and we should whoop the Pelicans. No Zion. You got a couple... Jaleel. Jaleel's going to get bodied by Embiid if he plays. Like, this is what winning basketball looks like. Winning close games, beating rivals, and going back home to the home crowd. This is what it's about. This is what winning basketball looks like. Something that the Sixers haven't done in a while. Because yes, we might have had 50 win seasons in the past, but you know for a fact that if it was Sixers versus Celtics in Boston, and the Celtics were actually making a run at the end of the game, and they were up the whole game, you know it would have gone to Boston. Everybody would have put bets on Boston. But now the tides have turned. It is now the Sixers' time. This is the Sixers' time. This is Philadelphia's time. And I can't wait to watch the rest of the season. Because this team is so much fun to watch. It's something else. Winning games in the clutch. And nobody knew. Nobody knew coming into the season who was going to be the closer. Well, Joel Embiid was the closer last night. And if it's not Joel Embiid on a consistent basis, then I can trust Tobias. I could trust Richardson. I could trust Horford when he's in. I could even trust Ben to get an easy layup. Mike Scott has had a couple clutch moments since being in Philly. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Sixers. I'm absolutely loving it. And I can't wait until the playoffs. I can't wait. Now that's it for this video. Look, Sixers beat the Celtics. I'm obviously so happy. I'm so hyped that they beat this team. I hate Boston. I hate the Celtics. It's such a rivalry that has been so one-sided for years, and now the tides are turning. The Sixers have won the last 3 matchups. Last season when Jimmy Butler hit the game winner over Kyrie. This season opening day, and now last night. Sixers win 115-109 in Boston. Only team to do that this season. Joel Embiid with a monster stat line, 38.6 assists, 13 rebounds. Tobias Harris also came in clutch, 23.7 assists, 8 rebounds. Horford did not play. Knee sore. He didn't play because of his knee. Josh Richardson returned with a better game than against Denver. 14 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Mike Scott with 15 points, 5 of 7 from the 3. That's it for this video. Sixers play New Orleans tonight in the Wells Fargo Center. That's it for this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Sixers improved to 19-7 on the season. I'm out. Peace.